Hey mamas, it's Mitch and it is Come As You Are Day with my good friend Tiffani Mitzel, and we are having some fun girl time. So let's get started. Welcome to my bedroom.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be in your room.
I know. Is it kind of weird? It's like, it was one thing when you were girls and hanging out as teens.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like, it's like your safe space when you're a mom. It's
Yeah.
like, I can go to my room. I can lock the door.
I know.
And so that's why I chose to do it in here.
It's a good spot. You have a cute room.
Well, thank you.
I really like
I got more to do, but we'll
I
get
like
there.
your curtains. I was actually thinking about maybe I should change mine.
Really?
I was like, oh, it looks good.
I love going into people's houses and you can be like, oh, hey, what do I?
I never thought about that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I so want to get an interior designer on here at one point in time.
That would be amazing. Or an organizer. Oh,
yes. Yeah.
And then you can send them to my house.
There you go. Well, I mean, they're going to hit up my stuff first, but.
My pantry.
Yes. But welcome either way.
Thank
And so this is Tiffani, like I was saying, my neighbor, we're good friends. And I just love, first of all, your energy.
Oh,
and I hope you know that about you. You just are infectious and like in a good way.
Good.
You're like COVID.
Do I make your nose red? I'm so sorry.
No, you just like come around and it's always like, you just have a great,
thank you.
Like a vivacious personality. You're
Thanks.
vibrant and vivacious. We'll throw out like $2 words.
Wow.
I know, it's kind of exciting. So I wanted to have you on, obviously, the Come As You Are, because I just like to get different perspectives, different moms. And so far, we've had Siegel, who, also our neighbor. Her kids are a little bit older. She's working outside of the home. I had a friend of mine from a little back when, who's now empty nester.
Yep.
And then you have your own business, you run it from inside of your own, and you have 2 small kids.
Yes.
So I was thinking, what a great, well-rounded perspective.
Definitely.
So first of all, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about kind of who your family is and what it is that you do.
Perfect. So can I start by saying thank you for letting me be on your show? I was like, oh my gosh, Mitch wants to interview me. I feel so honored. So thank you. And I really like your podcast. I binged it and I was like, this is so good. I really like it. It's awesome.
Goosebumps.
You're doing a great job. I'm proud of you.
Okay.
I think you're like the perfect person to do this.
I'm going to repeat that on loop just for one episode. It'll just be like, Mitch, this is a great podcast. This is a great podcast.
She's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm Tiffani Mitzel. I own Tiffani Mitzel Insurance. I do Medicare insurance. I've done that for 8 years. I love what I do. It's the best. I can help people. I have grown it from something that like Tyler and I thought was going to be like a hobby. I had no idea that it was going to be like a full income where my daughter has to go to daycare because I'm like, I have to work. I'm busy. So I do that. I love that. I've got 2 kids. My son is 5. He's almost 6. And then my daughter's a year and a half.
Oh.
And my husband and I have been married 11 years in August, and we've been together since I was 16.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. I met him in high school. We went to rival high schools. So we didn't go to the same one, rival high schools. I worked at the local grocery store, and his mom would come in and grocery shop all the time. And one of the girls that I worked with had a huge crush on his best friend, who later ended up marrying my best friend. Totally different story, but it was weird. But anyway,
I see like lots of notes and text.
Right. There was a lot of aim back in the day. So she's like, can you go to this party with me? Please go. Like, I don't want to go alone. And I was like, sure, I'll go with you. And Tyler was there. And Tyler was so handsome and he was so cool. And he was very like Abercrombie. And that was very much like my style. I was like, oh,
like, was he going around without a shirt on or something?
He
like
did
that
look
type
good.
of Abercrombie.
He did look really great without his shirt on. But he had like the
clothes.
Right.
Okay.
He had like the red flannel and his hair and the jeans, and he drove a nice car, and I was just smitten. Oh. So it just evolved from there. And here we are 10 years later. Well, I mean, more than 10 years. We've been married almost 11 years. But anyway, here we are later, and everything's going good. We got our life here in Texas. We moved from Washington, and yeah.
Nice. Nice. I like that. Man, there's so much I could unpack in just that.
I could talk for a long time.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it that got you into insurance in the first place?
So
that's when I see meeting you the first time, insurance was not my go. Oh no. Yeah. She's totally in insurance.
I work with seniors. Yeah. No. So the way it started was I was a project manager.
Okay.
And I would drive into Seattle. I'd have to be there at 6 a.m. I did plumbing. Like I did like the project management side of plumbing, right?
Okay.
So like the plumbing that goes into this new hotel, it was very boring. I didn't really like it. I didn't really feel like I was really doing anything with my life. Like I was like, cool, I'm going to work, then I go to the gym after, then we, go out on the weekends. It was very just like the same thing every single day. I just didn't like it. I just didn't feel like it was very fulfilling. I also wanted to have a family. Tyler and I really, really, really wanted to have kids. I originally wanted to have 4 kids, 2 years apart. And that did not happen, which is totally fine. But I was like, I need something where I can work but be home. Like my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I liked that. But because she got to go on all the field trips, she got to be there. We always had dinner. With her, it was never like make your own dinner. I was not a latchkey kid. My mom was always there. I didn't have to take the bus, any of that. So anyway, I wanted that for my children. And I also didn't want to have to put them in daycare at 6 weeks. I just didn't want that. So I'm like, what can I do? And Tyler and I were brainstorming, and I also didn't want to sell like Shakeology.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you sell Shakeology, you go, girl. Like, that is good for you. It's not my thing.
No, I understand.
And so Tyler's dad was doing insurance, and he was really successful at it. He had a really flexible schedule. And I remember and having Bob come over, his name's Bob, and having him come over, and we're like sitting in the living room, and he's like sitting on the fireplace, like because we had like a little stoop thing, talking to us about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And when I'm like, I'm gonna do it, I do it. Like I set my mind to it.
Decision is
like,
made.
I'm just gonna do it. And he was like, okay, like, are you sure? And at that time, I was pregnant. We just found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
So I had.
And this is with Robbie.
This
obviously.
is with Robbie, yeah. And I had to you have to do all this testing, all this licensing. Like it was a lot. It wasn't just like one day I'm doing project management. The next day I'm sitting at a senior's table showing them which plan to enroll in. It's a lot of stuff. And so I really shadowed Tyler's dad a lot for that first 2 years. For first 3 or 4 years, really, he's such a mentor in my life. Like he's just such an amazing person. A lot of people think he's my dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because obviously Tyler's close with his parents, but I'm really close with his parents as well. But Bob, I'll call and I'm like, okay, this is going on. Can you just give me a pep talk?
Oh,
and he does.
That's awesome.
He coached their teams through school. He's just a great mentor, a great coach. And so if it wasn't for him, I don't know what I would be doing. But that's how I got into it. I really like it because I'm helping people. Whereas project man, I wasn't helping anybody. A lot of times you're just doing bids to do bids and it's just busy work. And it sucked. And now I'm helping people. People call me and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm spending whatever on this plan. It's not working for me. I don't have anyone to help me. I don't know what to do. And I can help them. So
that's really cool.
I love it. Yeah.
And then I know that the bulk of the time you get to work out of your house.
I do. Yeah.
And you also do have to be out to be in contact with your clients and stuff.
Yeah.
How often is that? What's that ratio?
It really just depends. So during COVID, I did everything at home.
Okay.
But before COVID, I did everything outside of my home.
Oh.
So I would always go and meet clients in person. I was doing events, so I would go in set up the room, usually at hospitals a lot of times.
Oh, okay.
And teach Medicare 101. I still do that. So I go out into the community. I teach them how it works.
Okay.
Which is really fun too. Because they don't know.
Right.
And no one's ever told them. So I go and do that. I was doing that. And then COVID hit and I was like, okay, well, everyone's home. I learned how to do everything on Zoom. That was my busiest year, was that first year, because I could just sit on the computer and just bang, 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 bang. I wasn't driving anywhere.
Well, and everyone's like, I need my insurance to make sure it's good.
And so, and there was a big plan that came out that year. And so it was really, really busy, which was great. And then after COVID, a lot of people were like, oh, can I just talk to you over the phone? They were still scared of getting sick. And so they didn't really want people to come in their homes. And I was like, well, I don't have to drive anywhere. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so now I just kind of leave it up to them. I'm like, do you want me to come to your home? Do you want me to do it over the phone? You want to do Zoom? What do you want to do? And so I leave it up to them. And then I've been doing a lot of community events too, which is so fun. I really like those. That's
cool. Then do you set up the community events, or do facilities contact you, say, hey, we need someone to come out here? Or is it kind of both?
It's more I usually have been going out to the community. So a lot of the senior centers I've been going out to, they have expos. Oh, okay. And so those are really fun. So you go and set up, I'm doing one on the 21st. Okay. And so you gotta set up your table and have a theme and a game and all that kind of stuff. And it's just fun. And, they come up and talk to you about their stuff that's going on, and you see if you can help them, or maybe they just want to chat for a little bit. And yeah, so I've been working with the different community centers in the different counties.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Was it scary when you first started making those first calls? And
Oh my gosh, it was terrifying.
Yeah. What was it like to just sit down and be like, okay, now I'm in sales and I'm in insurance sales?
I know.
Knock.
It was hard because it was a lot of like, oh, you're just a sleazy salesperson. And so I just had to kind of figure out how to change it where it's like, I'm not a sleazy salesperson. I'm not going to just tell you, here's your plan, see you later. Like I have clients from the very beginning that I still talk to all the time. I do plan reviews. I've taken my kids on meetings. Like my kids have gone to meetings. A lot of times, like when I go back to Washington, they're like, are you bringing your kids?
Oh,
can they come? And I'm like, they're not coming this time. I'm sorry. They're like, can you please bring them? Like my clients have bought my kids like birthday presents and stuff. Like,
oh, wow.
It's great. My clients are amazing. And so I just feel really lucky to do what I do and been able to grow it how I've grown it. So
that is really cool.
It's super cool.
So, why don't you tell me what the rundown of your day is like, your average day?
Our average morning. So during the week, my alarm goes off at 5 and I usually hit snooze because I'm really tired. And my daughter has a sixth sense. And so it's like she knows that I'm up. She just knows. And she's so different than my son. My son would sleep, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm like, this is great. I don't understand why these moms are talking about their kids are having issues sleeping. Why can't they get up before their kids? Like, I don't understand. I was very much like people would lose their phones. I'm like, I'd have girlfriends be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't text you back. I lost my phone. Like,
how do you lose your phone?
What is wrong with you? Like, I feel bad. I'm like, I lose my phone all the time. All the time now. Now that I have 2 children, I'm like, oh, that's how, because you get busy. So
that first baby lulls you into
oh my
this,
gosh.
oh, it's easy. It's easy. And then the second baby comes along and you're like, what?
I'm like, what is going on? Why won't you sleep? Like, please. I love you so much, but go to bed.
Yes.
So anyway, usually it's a moment of like, is she still asleep? Okay, I'm going to shower really quick because she's still asleep. Try to get myself at least somewhat ready. And then I get them breakfast. We get fed. Usually my husband's been staying later in the mornings to like help eat breakfast together. And then he goes to work, get the kids in the car, drop my son at elementary school because he started kindergarten this year. And my daughter goes to daycare, which she really likes. It's, kind of hard, bittersweet. And then come home. And so for those first 2 hours, I typically do like admin stuff. Okay. So, because, I work primarily still in West Coast time. So, and we're 2 hours ahead.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's 8 o'clock my time. It's kind of, I can't really call. Hi, it's 6 a.m. Are you up? Because we need to talk about your insurance. You've got some stuff going on. Get up.
This isn't a convenient time for you.
I know. Did you get your coffee already? Yeah. I can wait. Is that okay? So, usually I do the admin. Like, I do our budget. Did I pay the water? Did I pay the electricity bill? Jiminy Christmas. But I had to call Mitch and ask her because we had the power go out, and I'm like, did I forget to pay the electricity bill?
Or is the power out?
Is the power out?
Oh, like you're safe this time. It was the power.
I had it on auto pay, but auto pay wasn't, so whatever. Anyway, so I've done that. So if you've done that, I've done that. Do the budgeting, answer my emails. Who can I work with in Texas that needs help? And then 10 o'clock, it's usually my phone starts ringing. Somebody's mom needs help. They need to change the plan. Somebody's turning 65. Somebody's got a bill that they need to figure out why they're getting a copay for. I got to call the hospital, ask them what's going on with that. It's just a lot of that. And that usually takes a lot of time. People have questions. People need a new card. Just, kind of coming as it goes. Do I have an event coming up? Do I need to sit down and prepare for that? Also, I'm like, so it's really just a lot of chaos, to be honest. Like every day is a little bit different. The mornings always look the same. It's always like, all right, breakfast, kids off to school, those 2 hours in the morning. Sometimes I work out, which is great. Sometimes, not always. But
you think about it.
I think about working out. I'm like, I should work out.
That thought burns 15 calories easy.
Totally.
Easy.
I stand up.
Yes. So okay, so you're at like 25.
Right? Yes. I got up. So anyway, so it's a lot of just, at that time dealing with clients. What do they need help with? Who do I need to reach out to that day? I keep a running to-do list. I use the Google Calendar and the task thing. It's amazing. And so I use that. I have a running to-do list where I'm like, what do I need to do? And then usually when it gets to about 2 o'clock, I'm like, did I eat lunch? Because I forget to do that a lot. Right. So I eat lunch, and then I like to clean up my house before my kids come home because my husband usually works late. And so he's working Monday through Thursday. Sometimes he works Friday, not typically though. And so usually in the evenings, I'm doing dinner and bedtime and bath time and all that stuff by myself.
So quick question though, since most of your clients are still on the West Coast, you're starting your day a little later. Are you still taking calls into
It's hard.
the later evening?
It depends. So like they'll call, and sometimes, you know, like depending on the client, I'll know kind of like, okay, is this going to be a lot or is it easy? Like you just kind of know like the person. And so sometimes I'll have to, you know, answer like, hey, I'm cooking dinner, because most of them know I'm in Texas now. I'm like, I'm cooking dinner. Can I call you back in just a little bit? And so then I usually wait till the kids go to bed, and then I make those phone calls.
Okay.
Or they're like, oh, it's no big deal. Call me tomorrow. That kind of thing.
That's cool.
I don't want people to feel like they're not important, because they are. They are
Yeah.
important to me. But at the same time, like, I got to feed my kids.
Right.
You know, so, and I try to make that time with them, like in the afternoon. Like I try to pay attention to them and not be like, mom's on a call. Like I can't talk to you, you know? So we do that. Play outside.
Yep. Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
I'm recording. Go away.
I know. Oh yeah. I mean, I've done it. I've had to do meetings with my kids, and my kids, especially my son. He's so funny. I have a couple clients that they like know, and he'll be like, "Hi." He'll come in. He's like, "Hi." I'm like, "Cool." It's pretty funny, and they're like, "Oh, can he come back? Can we say hi?"
I used to set up events, and
Yeah.
it was the same thing. And the girls were like 2 and 3, and all the time they're on the phone. Hey, can I say hi? Are you talking to so and so?
I know.
And everyone's so sweet. They know. I mean, so
They're
many people
so sweet.
work from home, or they get it, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, is that the kid? Say hi."
Yeah. It's so cute. They're like, "Can you send me pictures?"
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
So
okay.
it's just, honestly, it's a lot of juggling. Every day is a lot of juggling. I try to like, what do they call that? Time block my days, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do, 8 to 10. I'm gonna do admin, and then like 10 to noon, I'm gonna only do phone calls. But then I also have meetings in there where I'm doing Zooms, and
Yeah.
how it goes.
What's probably the most stressful part of your day?
Dinner time is so stressful.
Why?
My children.
I think we should just end right there. My children.
My children.
Okay.
It's just hard. Like, and I feel like I'll prep dinner. Like, I'm like, okay, like we're gonna have, I don't know, spaghetti, right? How hard is it to make spaghetti? Like, so easy. But I'll like get the pot of water on the oven before we leave. Like, my daughter, I started bringing her own snacks to daycare because I just don't think they were giving her enough food. And she's constantly like, more. You
taught her baby sign language too?
They did.
Oh,
which
that's
was
so cool.
Great. Yeah.
My sister-in-law did that, and when she came, Zaya was 10 months old. I'm like, oh, this makes life so much easier.
Great. Her daycare's great. They do a really great job.
That's awesome.
And so I was really excited about that. So anyway, she'll come home. She's screaming. She's hungry. She hasn't seen me all day.
Yeah.
She wants to be held. Robbie, and it's hard too because they want to go in 2 different directions. So Robbie wants to go swimming because it's been nice, even though the pool's like 65 degrees.
And he wants to get in the pool at 65 degrees.
And so I'm like, okay, well, yeah. And I'm like, you can jump in 3 times.
It's like a cryo bath.
Yeah.
I mean, it's healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But so I'm like, you can jump in 3 times, and then we got to do something else. And so then Maddie wants me to push her on the swings, and Robbie wants to, go jump down the slide or whatever. And so that part's hard because they want 2 separate things, and I don't want them to feel like they're not important. You get pulled in 2 different directions. Everybody's got to eat. The dogs typically need something. Maybe a dog runs off.
Yes.
That happens a lot. Or like the other day, there was an eagle trying to eat my dog.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we have a lot of big birds around here, and her dogs are small.
I have little dogs.
So they can literally, and I never knew this. I didn't realize how strong a hawk or an eagle is. They'll come and they'll pick them up and like, oh my.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh. I had a friend in high school that happened to her parents.
Really? Oh,
so
wow.
I know. So, or, they get under the fence. You think you have it secure, and then there they go. And so, just.
And Mitch is texting you, your Coco's out.
I know.
Chloe's running around.
Neighbors of the street. Did you know? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. Thank you. Or the Ring camera goes off. So that part's hard. They need to be in separate directions. So I try, like, we have like one of those little Jeeps. I'm like, Robbie, can you drive your sister around?
Oh, there you go.
And so like he'll drive her around, and
but
it's stressful because everyone needs to eat.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to play. Your phone's going off, and it's hard. That part's really hard.
So then you said it's usually just you and the kids for dinner because Tyler doesn't get home until about what time?
Sometimes not till like 8 or 9.
Oh, okay.
It's hard.
It's a long day.
But it's only Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
So that part's great. And then Fridays we've been doing date days, which is not every Friday, but that part's fun.
I mean, just by your face, I'd say that's a good thing.
It's going well.
Kids are in school, kids in daycare. We have a time.
I know, the whole day. So that was really fun. But yeah, so dinner's been the most stressful. And I haven't really found like how to make it not stressful. I'm like, what makes this not stressful? I'm like, why is it so stressful? But I mean, crock pot meals make it easy.
Yeah.
But they don't always eat crock pot meals.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out what they're going to eat. And
Well, and Maddie's still just coming really into food at this point in time.
Right,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that part's hard. And, I was always like, oh, I'm not going to make separate meals. I was that mom. I'm like, I will not make separate meals for my children. Who does that? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen those shirts, like, I was a great parent before I had
Oh,
kids.
yeah. I was the best
Oh, my God.
parent.
I was the best parent. My kid will never.
My kid will watch a tablet.
Never
watch a tablet.
Those are terrible parents.
Yes, they are awful.
So
And yes, they will eat what we put in front of them.
Definitely.
They will never have sugar.
No.
Candy, ever, or red dye number 5.
My son, though, he runs around. He's like, I'm allergic to that.
You're like, he's not. But
just don't eat it. We're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on. But yeah, so it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to be a parent, and it always feels like someone is judging you. Somebody's thinking you're doing it wrong, or sometimes I think it's in your head too. Like you're like, oh, I'm not giving them enough attention, and I'm not feeding them a nutritious enough a meal, and somebody said Chick-fil-A was terrible, and now can I take them to Chick-fil-A? Like, am I a bad mom? Like.
Yeah, I've definitely been there where my children have literally for a week straight eaten nothing but chicken nuggets and chips and yogurts, and I'm like, I am the worst mother ever.
But they ate.
And
so
and so it's like working on. I guess it's like 20 times you have to introduce a food to them before they're like, okay, I'll try this. And it gets tiring.
It gets exhausting, and then you sit down, or like you sit down and you make a meal, and you're like, oh, this is so good. This is the best meal, and they won't eat it.
Yeah.
Oh, just eat it.
Just try it.
Right. Or like one kid's throwing food to the dog.
Yeah.
One kid's crying. I'm like, why are you crying? Like, what is wrong? So
I told my kids that your taste buds change as you get older. Cause like every 7 years or something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, as you get older and you're an adult, you start to eat more foods. You start to like more things because your taste buds change. And I think that kind of especially with Zaya, my older one, cause she likes to be an adult or bigger,
she
right?
Does. She's so cute.
So she'll try something she hasn't tried before, and she'll be like, "Mommy, this is really good. My taste buds must be changing because I'm getting older." Yes,
that's a good idea.
I know. Like it's so manipulative, but it works.
But it's more convincing.
Yeah,
it's just convincing. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
I've noticed if I don't look at my children while we eat, they eat.
Oh, that's funny.
It's so weird, especially more Maddie than Robbie.
Yeah.
But like Maddie, she'll like be eating, and I'll like look at her, and I'm like, yes, she's eating, and then she'll be like,
she senses.
No.
I'm not going to let you in.
She'll throw it on the floor.
Oh
my God, it's the worst. Robbie never threw food.
Like
same thing. I was like, how come people's kids throw food? Something must be wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I just was a little judgmental. But she throws food all the time. It's very frustrating. I'm like, Maddie, stop throwing food. So. Yeah.
And you did the same mistake that I did. You bought white furniture because our kids will be
different.
different.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, it's stain resistant fabric. It'll be
That's
fine.
What they tell you. It's stain resistant.
Don't believe them.
Don't believe them. It was not. They're like, Scotch-Brite will work. No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't work.
No.
So, and even yesterday, I was letting Maddie, she loves the bubbly waters.
Okay.
Waterloos.
Okay.
She loves those. And so I was letting her have a Waterloo on the couch with a straw at our white couch, which is not white anymore. And I was looking at her and I was like, I would have never done this with Robbie.
Yeah.
I would have never let him eat this on the couch.
Yeah.
And now I don't even.
You're just like, it's already trashed.
Exactly. It's already trashed. We've already agreed that we will not be buying new furniture until she's 5.
Yeah. So I did discover something that it was like some crazy coating where it literally beads up and repels water and stuff like that. Cool. But it's super, like literally it almost costs the same price as your furniture to do it.
Of course
and I'm
it does. Yeah. That's so cool though.
One day it will be common technology.
One day I'll have decor again. I'll have decorations. I still have Valentine's Day decorations.
Yeah.
But we have St. Patrick's going on in my brother's room, or my son's room. And then we've got Valentine's Day.
Now, did that happen to you? Were you big on decorating before,
oh my gosh.
Kids, or did kids make you? So before too. Okay.
Yeah, I love to decorate. So like I would change my house on the holiday, like depending on the season and stuff. I would go to Home Goods.
Yes.
And so like I would go to Home Goods and I would get the decorations. Home Goods isn't what it was before, but like post-COVID, Home Goods is not the same.
Yeah.
But like even Robbie and we would go to Home Goods because like, so with Robbie, he wasn't really in daycare very much.
Okay.
Because I didn't have as many clients.
Yeah.
So I didn't have as much of a need for it. And so he would do drop-in. So he would go like once in a while.
Yeah.
Most of the time though, I would work on the weekends or in the evenings when Tyler was home. And so he wasn't really, so I still did all the mom stuff with him.
Yeah.
Like we did like all the park dates and we went to Home Goods and like, it was really fun. But Maddie, that's just not an option. So she's in the full-time daycare. But so we would go to Home Goods and like get a whole bunch of stuff and like decorate the house. And now it's just not as decorated.
Yeah.
Because you just don't anymore.
Well, it just takes a little bit more time.
Yeah.
See, I was kind of the opposite. I liked to decorate, but it wasn't until I had kids where it was all of a sudden like this need, like I got to have my house decorated. I want them to feel like they have, and I don't do it forever. Like Valentine's Day, there's probably like my kids will draw hearts, but but like
I have like a garland,
Thanksgiving and stuff,
Christmas, Christmas is a huge
those
deal.
ones I like to do like some. I want them to feel like Christmas, so they'll always want to come home for Christmas.
I know
they have that feeling,
right?
You know?
And it's just another thing. Like as a mom, you feel pressure.
Yeah,
you're like, I have to make it so magical.
Yes,
everything has to be so magical. Like, I mean,
I'm going to do the Harry Potter floating candles and everything.
Oh my God, I thought that was so cool.
I know, right?
I tried to do the hats on our porch, and we live in a very windy spot.
Yes.
And so that did not work. But like, you got to do the Easter footprints.
Yeah.
And the Santa letter and the everything.
Yeah.
I don't do Elf on the Shelf.
Oh, yeah.
So for the moms that do Elf on the Shelf, good for you.
This was my first year doing it. This was my first year doing it.
I've been trying. My son's like, Mom, how come we don't have an elf? And I'm like, because your school has one, honey.
There you go.
The elf is at school.
It does. It takes time. There were a couple nights where, I got on a Facebook group. That's goodness for this, because you could go and steal ideas, and then
that's a great idea.
Like it was my favorite one. The girls actually loved it too.
Yeah.
Literally put a plate and put the elf in between two pieces of bread, and I left a note that said, I hope my girls don't watch this, but
right. I hope the children aren't watching this.
I thought your mom said go to bread. So they love that. And I was like,
cute.
2 seconds, done.
Perfect.
Yeah. So there were a lot like that.
I'm hoping it just loses popularity.
Yeah, probably not.
I know.
Sorry.
I know. I'm trying to hold off.
Crystal was the one that got us. I'm like, oh shoot, Crystal's doing that now. I have to do it because my kids know each other.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh. My other friends are like, don't you get that elf. Don't you do it.
Hold out.
Or don't tell my kid.
Exactly.
Just don't tell them.
Yeah. So how do you, you already kind of mentioned this. How do you and Tyler make time for each other?
So it's hard. Like we didn't do a very good job in Washington. I feel like, cause he was working and I was busy, and then we just didn't really have like a lot of time together, except for like in the evenings, right? Like evening time, we didn't really do a lot of date nights. I have a hard time leaving my kids with sitters. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it. I have a hard time with it, even though Maddie goes to daycare.
You've established long-term trust with them.
I think maybe that's it. But I just have a hard time with the babysitters. We just don't do it. And but we had Tyler's parents, which was great. Yeah. And so we would drop them at Tyler's parents' house because they lived 5 minutes away.
Oh, nice.
Which was amazing. And so we drop them. We would go have dinner and then come back and get them, and it was great. We just didn't do it all the time. We just had our own lives, or like we had friends that had kids the same age, and so we all just kind of did stuff together. Yeah. And but here Tyler has Fridays off, and so we do date days. And it is so fun.
And how do you guys usually plan your dates? Is it one of you plans one week, one plans next week, or do you guys collaborate, or do you kind of just do the same thing?
We do like one a month. We try to do one a month, like something big. And so Tyler, the last time he's like, we should go horseback riding. And I'm like, I love that idea. Yeah. And so we actually went to Stockyards. Okay. And they have horseback riding.
I just heard about this.
It was
I don't know why I didn't know.
Fun. It was so fun. I felt like it was pretty affordable considering what you're doing. Yeah. Tyler's horse was very sassy. It was awesome. He could not control it. And the guy that was like, my horse was very like, well, I'm going to be first. And I was like, my horse is so in tune with me.
My horse is my soul, my soulmate.
It's my, what do they call it? A spirit animal?
Yeah, your spirit animal. So we will be first.
Yeah. So I'm like up there, like doing my horse thing, and Tyler's back there. His horse is like eating grass.
He's all, come on, horse, come on.
His horse is like,
I can just picture him.
Like losing its bridle. It's all coming out. I know. We had a great time. And then I'm like, Tyler, let me take your picture. And his horse starts peeing. Oh, no. I was like, what is wrong with your horse? So anyway, it was really fun though. We had a great time. Went to lunch after. And so sometimes our dates look like that. We go and do something like that. Or it looks like we go to sushi on the square and we just have lunch together and, talk about work and that kind of thing. So it just really depends on what's going on, but we try to just make sure we do something together that day.
Nice. So, and how do you see things like in the next 5 years changing, or do you feel, because I know we have talked before where you said you guys tend to move a lot.
We do move a lot. I
so
know.
Is that something, and we've done that too, Andrew and I, we're kind of like, we're always looking. We're just always looking.
Well, Tyler and I like to set goals too. We like to be like, okay, well, here's where we want to be in 5 years. How are we going to get there? What are we going to do? And we didn't I guess we kind of fell into, we're kind of good at buying and selling houses. Like, we didn't mean to be good at that. It's just like we get into a house, we fix it up, and then we sell it and we move and like buy the next one. And I don't know if we'll do that with this house. We originally thought we were going to.
Yeah.
And now like we're kind of getting a little bit more established. Robbie's getting older. He's in school. Yeah. And so he's got friends. And he does make friends really easily. He loves friends. He's very social. Yeah. So I'm not really sure if maybe it'll look like we instead stay where we're at and we just start buying rentals and doing that instead. Or, you know, we are going to sell it and move somewhere else. We'll definitely stay in Texas. I would never move away. I love it here. But we're not entirely sure yet what that's going to look like. But we do know that we want to kind of restructure and have Tyler be home more, especially as the kids get older. Yeah. And I did forget to ask you this when I asked you the most stressful part of your day. What's usually the best part of your day? Well, I do love breakfast in the morning with all of us. I do really love that. I also love, and maybe this is like a bad thing to say, but I love it when like the kids are asleep. Yes. And like Tyler and I can watch Suits. Yeah. We just finished watching that. Yeah. I know. I watched it one episode. I was like, I hope, spoiler alert. Did I tell you to watch it? Well, no, I told you to watch it. Okay, I told you, that's right. But you guys are way quicker at watching it. And so anyway, so spoiler alert for anyone that's watching Suits. I didn't know that Sheila was going to have a baby. Oh. And so I watched it and I was like, shoot! I was like, I didn't tell Tyler because I don't want to ruin it. So anyway, but like the best thing is like the kids are in bed and he's like, do you want to have a glass of wine and watch Suits? I'm like, yes. Yeah. I do. So, you know, just that time where like, it's just like him and I, and we're watching a show or just relaxing and not having somebody go, Mom, Mom, can you open the fruit snack? Mom, I'm like, oh my God, just go to bed. It's like when they're really young, they can't start a sentence without saying mom first. Even if it's not necessary. Yeah. It's just mom is an automatic first word of every sentence. And I'm like, sentence. You know you have a dad. Yes. Like, he's right here. He can also open the fruit snack. Like, they'll come up to me and be like, can you open this? And Tyler will be like, I'll open it. No. What? He opens it the same. He opens it the exact same. Or like in the mornings, Maddie will not go to Tyler. Like not every morning. Yeah. Like this morning she was like, Dad. But like some morning, it seems like when I have to be somewhere, she's just losing it. Doesn't want him to hold her. I'm just, oh God, Maddie. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I know that we'll be at the dinner table and Zaya will be sitting right next to Andrew. Mm-hmm. And she'll be like, Mom, can you open this for me? Oh my God. It's so frustrating. And Andrew will look at her and he's like, I'm right here. And she's they can do it. And it's not that they won't do it. Yeah. It's just that the kids default to you. Yeah. It's so funny. Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay. So I think this is awesome stuff. I love it. I love your day. I think a lot of people are going to have some fun listening to this. Hopefully they can hear us over the laughter. Yeah. Because, obviously we're having a good time here. And hopefully they didn't hear my cat snoring because that's pretty much every episode I've checked. So if you can hear him snoring, let me know. He's just a deep sleeper. He is a deep guy. He needs a CPAP, this cat. And my dog does now too. Seriously, like last night it was a symphony between the two of them. That's so annoying. Yeah. So you know what I'm going to end with. Okay, I'm ready. All right. But I had to write it down because we're using a phone to film. Okay. It's shotgun question time. Okay, I'm ready. I tried to prepare, but then you said you changed it. So. Jeez. I'm not going to use the same questions every single time. Okay, then fine. You can cheat. Okay, I'm ready. All right. How many languages can you say hello in? I think 3. Don't ask me to do it. No, 4, but don't ask me. Well, now you have to because you just added another one. I might be wrong though. Well, let's hear. Bonjour. Okay. Hola. Okay. Hello. Uh-huh. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Konnichiwa means hello and goodbye. Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah. 4. Okay. See. All right. What celebrity do you think you look like? Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Does anyone ever tell you? One time, someone said Jessica Biel, and I was like, I don't think so. I know. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. But she's a good. I mean, I take it. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Right? I'm not like against that. I just didn't think so. Okay. All right. So. What is one thing you will never do again? Oh, gosh. Oh, something I just recently did that was like a terrible parenting choice. Do not take your children to the doctor for their checkup during nap time. Oh. Don't do that. That was a stupid thing. I needed to take, maybe that's not the best thing. I'm sure there's something else stupid that I did. But I was like, this will be fine. I had something going on in the morning. No big deal. No, it was awful. She screamed the entire time. Oh, wow. So yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Okay. Do you prefer talking or texting? It depends on the person. Yeah. I love to voice text. Oh, do you? That's my favorite. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about that the other
I love
day.
voice texting. Yeah.
Okay, and then the last one. Have you ever made a prank call?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Remember star 67?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, definitely. 100%.
All right. Cool. Oh my gosh.
What?
I forgot to come up with a joke, so I have to think of one on the fly.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ready.
All right.
Mhm.
I don't think I've used this one.
Okay.
What did the mommy buffalo say to her son when she dropped him off at school?
Bye, Mini Buffalo?
Bye, son.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. That's really cute. I like it.
Okay, so that ends today's Come As You Are episode with Tiffani. Obviously, we had some fun, so I hope you had lots of fun with this too.
It was fun. I
Good.
had fun.
I'm so glad you
It was
had
fun.
fun. It was fun to have you here.
Thank you.
I mean, these are, like I said, these are probably my favorite episodes
Yeah, I
because
like
they're just relaxed and
They're
easy,
fun.
and you just get to be you.
Yeah.
Very cool. So with that, thank you so much for being here and spending your time with us. And if you had fun watching this, you might have a friend that would have fun watching this too. So I am just going to go ahead and say, forward this episode right now. And then you guys can compare notes on what you thought was like the most like you. See, now make it into a game.
And you can subscribe.
And you can subscribe and
it.
share and like.
Yes. Then you get all the episodes.
And then you get all the episodes.
And then you're like, oh, Mitch has a new episode. Yes.
I love it. See,
Do it.
You're going to be my new PR person. You're
I tried.
hired. Okay,
Yes.
done. New job. You're
Cool.
out of insurance.
Well, I'll do it for free for you.
Okay.
Too.
Okay, I'll take it.
I know, right?
Okay, you guys, with that, I will see you next Tuesday. In the meanwhile, make it fun, make it rich, and goodbye.
Bye.